All right, let's talk about AI. I know the hype is everywhere, but we're going to cut right through that noise. If you run a medical or dental practice, or maybe you're thinking of investing in one, this is for you. We are going to build the real world, dollars and cents business case for using conversational AI. And I'm not talking about some far off, futuristic concept. I'm talking about real, measurable value you can unlock right now. Okay, let's just kick things off with a number that's, well, it's impossible to ignore. We're talking about $360 billion. That's what some experts are saying AI could save the US healthcare system every single year. That is not a typo. It's a fundamental shift in the whole economic landscape of healthcare. So that brings us to the big question, right? The one that really matters for every single practice owner, every investor listening right now. How much of that giant pie can you actually claim for your own bottom line? Well, stick with me, because over the next few minutes, we're going to lay out the exact blueprint to answer that very question. So here's our game plan. First up, we'll dig into the massive problem that AI is perfectly built to solve. Then we'll see how it completely flips the script on the patient experience and your own internal operations. After that, we get to the good stuff, the hard numbers, the real ROI. And to wrap it all up, I'll give you a practical, step-by-step roadmap for making it all happen. Sound good? Let's dive in. All right, Section 1, Healthcare's billion-dollar problem. Let's really set the stage here. You know, every practice out there is constantly battling these operational black holes that just suck up resources and cash day in and day out. And let's start with one of the absolute biggest culprits, no-shows. We're talking $150 billion lost every year in the US just because patients don't show up. For your practice, what does that mean? It means empty chairs, wasted staff time, and pure lost revenue. It is that chronic, expensive headache that every single practice owner knows way too well. And it doesn't stop there. Here's another massive resource strain. Take a look at this. Up to 30 cents of every single dollar spent in healthcare doesn't go to patient care. Nope, it goes to administrative tasks. Just think about it. All those hours your team spends on the phone scheduling, sending reminders, chasing down paperwork, that is a huge operational cost. And honestly, it's just begging to be streamlined. So the big question is, how do we fix all this? Well, it starts by completely reimagining that first point of contact with your patients. Think of conversational AI as creating a brand new digital front door for your practice, one that's always open, always on, and always ready to help. And this right here, this is a huge insight into how patients actually behave. Get this, nearly half, 50%, of all patient calls and messages come in after your office is closed for the day. So if you're only open 9 to 5, you're literally missing half of your chances to connect with patients and fill your schedule. You know, let's just be blunt about it. Every single one of those unanswered calls is a potential appointment that just got up and walked right over to your competition. It's a straight line from a missed call to lost revenue. But an AI assistant? It never sleeps, it doesn't take lunch breaks, and it can handle hundreds of people all at once without breaking a sweat. And look, this is about so much more than just booking an appointment. AI can manage the entire patient journey. It offers that 24/7 scheduling we talked about, yeah, but it also sends up those smart automated reminders that just slash no-show rates. It can check in with patients after a procedure and even help them stick to their treatment plans. We're talking about improving adherence by as much as 60%. That's huge for patient outcomes. Okay, so that's what the patient sees. Now let's pull back the curtain and go behind the scenes. Let's look at the incredible efficiencies AI can create in the engine room of your practice. This slide shows one of the most profound impacts of all. Without AI, your clinicians are constantly forced to split their attention, right? They're looking at the patient, then back at the keyboard. Patient, keyboard. But with an AI scribe just listening quietly in the background, they can give 100% of their focus to the person in front of them, building that crucial trust and really improving the quality of care. And the numbers on this are just staggering. AI scribes can cut the time clinicians spend on documentation by up to 72%. That's not minutes, that's hours, literally hours, handed back to your doctors and nurses every single day. This is an absolutely massive tool against burnout and a huge boost for your practice's efficiency. And what about another classic time sink? Prior authorizations. Ugh, that tedious, soul-crushing process can be automated, cutting the manual grunt work by up to 75%.
Think about that. It frees up your staff to focus on high-value work, not sitting on hold with insurance companies for half the day.
So, we've seen the operational wins, but now let's talk about what every single owner and investor really needs to see: the cold, hard cash, the financial return. This is where the business case goes from compelling to absolutely undeniable. And I'm not talking theory here. Let's look at a real-world example. A multi-location dental group up in Canada put conversational AI into their practice and saw a 3.2 times return on their investment. That's money they can actually count, driven by both real cost savings and more revenue coming in the door. And hey, remember that $150 billion no-show problem we talked about? Well, that same dental group, they cut their no-show rate by 40%. That is revenue that goes directly from being lost forever to being captured and put straight onto the bottom line. It's a game changer. And it gets even better. By automating all those front desk tasks and optimizing how everything works, some dental practices have reported cutting their overall operating costs by as much as 60%. This kind of technology doesn't just tweak your business, it fundamentally changes your entire cost structure. And listen, the proof is everywhere. This is not some one-off success story. Just look at the data. You've got major medical centers dramatically increasing their digitally booked appointments. You've got health systems slashing their call center wait times. The evidence is crystal clear. Across all kinds of different specialties and practice sizes, AI delivers consistent, measurable results.
Okay, so the results are pretty compelling, right? But how do you actually do it? How do you make it happen in your practice? Well, a successful rollout is not about just flipping a switch. It takes a smart, strategic plan.
Here are the 5 pillars to get it right. First, security and compliance are totally non-negotiable. You have to demand HIPAA compliance. Second, insist on a deep, seamless integration with your EHR. Third, you gotta frame this as a tool that helps and empowers your team, not something that replaces them. Fourth, start small. Pick one high-impact problem and tackle that first. And finally, you have to measure everything so you can prove the ROI and keep making it better.
And let's just demystify a key part of that first pillar real quick. You're going to hear the term Business Associate Agreement, or BAA. It sounds complicated, but it's just a simple legal contract. All it does is make sure your AI vendor is legally required to protect patient data with the exact same high standards that you do. Any vendor worth their salt will have this ready to go. It's a critical first step.
So what's the bottom line here? The business case is proven. The technology is here, today, ready to help you capture lost revenue and free up your amazing team. The path forward is really clear, and it all begins with one simple action. Identify your single biggest operational headache, whether it's those no-shows, the phone wait times, or clinician burnout, and start right there.